Shane, it's been a while, man, since I've had a chance to see you and the band. It's been so much fun following you guys and all the success, the number ones that you guys have pulled off. And it's funny when I think about bands like yourself, I always think about a comment that Gene Simmons from Kiss said a long time ago, and he said rock is dead. And it's like, yeah, well, you haven't listened to One Bad Sons, have you? Because you guys have definitely brought Canadian rock to another level, rock in general itself. People out there having a good time, banging their heads or just grooving to the music. How does it feel, though, that A, proving him wrong, and B, being able to do what you guys have been doing with such great success?
Well, I feel like anytime you can prove Gene Simmons wrong, it's a good day.
I
So
agree.
I appreciate that. Um, very cool. I mean, the great thing about a band like ours is, yeah, like we've had success on radio and those sorts of things, but not to this level where we're absolute household names. We're kind of in that middle ground that a lot of very successful bands get to. And I will say that a lot of our success is based on our fan base. Like we have rock fans are not fair weather fans, number one, for any band, but our fans are just, they're hardcore. They come to all the shows. They're not, they're not judgy. Once they love you, they love you. And honestly, I would say our success is really due to our fan base in such a big way because we've never been, media darlings. We haven't won Junos, that sort of stuff. And so I'd say all our success is just, it's really fan driven. So,
I got to agree with you. One of the things that always frustrates me, though, too, when I'm going to talk about radio play, back in my day, top 40 was true top 40, which
yeah,
was you could hear a rock song, you can hear a pop song, you can hear a country song, you can hear an R&B song. It was just about what people were listening to.
yeah,
And today's format, even though they do call it top 40, it's a particular sound.
yeah.
How do you feel that in a lot of ways, as much as we talked about the success that you guys have had, um, I feel like in a lot of ways, rock does not get its respect on radio play unless it's a specific type of station.
Yeah.
And that to me that's not fair. And I know the Junos do the best they can, but again, a lot of times if when I'm going through the categories or whatever, I'm going when I go to the rock stuff, who is this? And that shouldn't be the case because
Yeah.
I should know more. There's maybe one or two bands, but most of the time I don't know who they are.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is it's due to the fact that there's so much music right now, right? It's just it's coming from everywhere. Everybody can get onto iTunes, Spotify. Back in the day, I'm 41 years old, so I come from my lifetime and even the time of the band has spanned a lot of different eras. There wasn't as much music back in the day, really, so you could get more on maybe a top 40, whereas now there are so many genres and subgenres. Even in rock, it's easy to say you're a rock band, but what does that mean? Well, we're kind of stoner rock. We're kind of we're like this, but we're a little more this. Um, I've always loved that OBS. We really call ourselves a rock band. Like we go, it's four people just playing their asses off, and so any success we get is great. But I think you're right in that I don't know. There's just so many factors at play. I think you're right. Organizations do their best, really,
Yeah.
but man, have things changed? Even honestly, in the last 5 years, it's really just it's change, exponential change in this last decade. So
It's crazy the way things have worked out. How have you guys, though, actually, as a band, been working out throughout COVID? Because, man, the world has changed. And, for the longest time, no live shows. People were very creative in creating music. As a collective, how have you guys gotten through COVID?
well, it hasn't been easy to be honest. Really, when COVID hit, we toured so much. I mean, at that point, it was 16 years of straight touring, pretty much nonstop, and we were kind of looking for a bit of a break just from that, but not the kind of break it turned into, obviously. And our guitar player Hicks has stepped away from the band, so it's just Kurt and I now. We have a new like bass player and guitar player that are going to be joining us live, and so that's been a huge shift. But I think for various different reasons, that's been many bands' story of people for whatever reasons, whether it's COVID specific or just the time away, people taken stock of their lives. You know, there have been people that have just stepped away completely. So it's been partially good for us because I think we really did need the break mentally, physically, spiritually, just to be like that much time on the road can really wear you down. But now, Kurt and I, we've started writing here, got some really cool tunes that we're excited to get recorded, and we're pumped to get back out. Obviously, things are not near over, especially I live in Calgary, so Alberta has been an epicenter of all sorts of terrible things here lately. So, I mean, who knows when it happens, but when it happens, I mean, I really believe next year with the vaccine uptake and all that sort of thing that we're going to get back to, I mean, some version of new normal. And we're really excited. I think though it's been hard, we've come out of it really energized and ready to get back to it. So,
Yeah, I know, and I'm feeling the same way too. Just curious though, only one person has said this to me, and
okay.
everybody I've talked to, and that is everybody else has enjoyed the fact that even though they love being out in the crowds and traveling, it was nice for a long extended time to be able to wake up in your own bed and knowing it was your own bed. Only one guy said that he actually missed the road and, being able to wake up in different hotel rooms or whatever. But everybody else has said, no, it was kind of nice just being able to, oh, wow, this has been a full week or a full month that I've actually slept at home. How did you handle that change?
Well, I mean, I'm a bit more in the camp of enjoying some time. I got married in 2019, and my wife and I mean,
Congrats.
we thank you so much. Like we met, and I think the week after we met and had our first date, I'm like, I got to go for 2 months. I'll see you. So we haven't seen each other this much in our entire relationship, and it's been
Wow.
awesome to wake up to her every day. And I've also had a big breakthrough with my comic art, so that really kicked in. And so I've been at home hanging with the love of my life and drawing comic books. So there's been a lot to be grateful for while I'm home. But I can't say, I mean, come on, being on the road is a whole thing in itself. You definitely miss that side of it. It's not, I think if you're like a true musician, you don't really prefer this or prefer this.
Yeah.
It's all part of your life. You just want to hopefully get some balance. And there's definitely been times where it's swung a little too much on the road and you come home feeling like a shell of yourself. So a little extra time has been cool.
That time, it looks like, gave you time for a solo project. How did
Yes.
this all develop? And did this happen because of COVID, or whether COVID would have happened or not, would this have happened?
Yeah, I was already kind of planning it. I've always had songs that just I write all the time. The band has always written, and I just have a ton of ideas. And of course, whether you're putting out singles or albums, you have to cut a lot of songs as a band. So there's been a lot of things that I've written that just haven't worked for OBS, or I just knew weren't really OBS songs, and they kind of they sit on a shelf, they collect dust, they don't do anything. And I always knew at some point I was going to try to really just for myself to have some of my other ideas out and be able to sing in some different ways and kind of experiment with some different things. And I actually recorded this song Shiver in 2019, thinking that, oh, by 2020 I'll be able to maybe integrate, maybe even have a bit of an EP. And of course that idea went out the window. So now I've had this song sitting around for a while and just thought it's time to, it's not exactly how I was hoping to roll it out. Like I was really hoping to have a bit more of a solid plan, maybe a few more songs recorded, but I feel like it's a time where, I mean, the world always needs music and now more than ever. So I figured, hey, you got one song recorded. I'm super proud of it. I want to record more. So time to put it out. And ideally, I've got OBS rocking and rolling, and I can scream my ass off on the big stage, and I can grab my acoustic guitar and play my own stuff when the time is right, and draw comic books in there too, and just create art as much as I can.
You kind of said it, what you just said, but I'm going to ask anyways, though. What is the difference between writing and releasing a song for the band to writing and releasing a song for yourself?
I mean, the biggest part is the collaboration, right? I'm not a natural collaborator. I'll just admit it. I think there's a lot of us that aren't. You have ideas, you see things your way, and you want to do that. And it was a long process in the band to become comfortable I'll fully admit to let other people have their ideas and feel, but the more I would let that happen in my own mind, the better the songs become. I think writing collaboratively, doing any art collaboratively is just it's such a great thing. And it really has made me grow as a songwriter. But I will say that there are times you just think like, I just wish I could like have this idea and I could just play it how I want and get it out and just, so really, I think that's the number one thing is you write for yourself. It's more just, I got this feeling, I got the song, boom, it's done, no arguments. And then the other thing is my plan with the solo material has always been to keep it out of the industry a little bit, like, or I'll say out of the machine, not looking at big radio spins. I'm not looking at, it's more just a passion project of you got a song, record it, get it out. I mean, the band, we've been successful because we've had a lot of, besides the fan, there's been fans, there's been radio and all those things, and a lot of work goes into getting that stuff. So with the band, it's like you write collaboratively and you also like, you're going to put that thing into the machine and you're going to like work that and do all the things you can. When it's my thing, it's just like, hey, here you go. Love it or hate it. You're going to hear more probably in the future, and just sort of, it's a way to express myself musically and just be a little more chill about it. We'll put it that way.
That's the best kind of way to describe this single. You already said the name of it, but I'm going to ask you again. Give me the name of the single and what this song is about and how it represents you and your career today. Because when I hear the song, all I think of is stadium and big ass speakers and just being, just like that kind of thing,
I appreciate that. It is an OBS in that, like, it's not a rock tune, like it isn't huge, but it has like, hard to describe your own song this way, but it's a bit more on the epic side. It's like slow moving and it's kind of got some bigness to it. And lyrically, it was really cathartic for me because especially on the last record that we finished in OBS, I think all of us felt this burnout of you go from writing songs as, 4 people in a room, like, let's jam. Wow, we're doing it. You're not really worried about what they're doing or where they're going. But once you get that taste of success on any level, man, a lot of good things come with that radio play and a lot of good things come with that exposure. And so by the time we did the Made in the Name record, I found myself really, my creativity being more like, okay, well, we had a hit, we need a bigger hit. Like we had a number 5, we need a number 1. Like, you naturally go down that road to the point where at some point you stop and think, do I even like writing songs anymore? Do I like playing them? Like, am I a musician now, or am I just a guy out trying to keep the train going? And I don't even remember why, right? So Shiver is about reconnecting with that feeling of writing music for the sake of writing music, writing because you love it, and really a journey of trying to rediscover where that place was in the first place that all those songs came from, and that feeling of connecting the music came from. And I'll tell you, by writing that song and writing more songs on my own, I've probably written more OBS ideas than I have in the last 5 years. Once you stop thinking of all the noise, you tune that noise out and reconnect to the part of you that loves to make music, all of a sudden things just start to flow naturally. So
it's funny because as you were talking, I was trying to remember the show and I had to look it up. It sounded like to me something like if Sons of Anarchy was still going on, you would hear that song. Or if you love watching, the UFC or whatever, I can see a fighter coming out to this song. It's got, as you said, that epic. That's what I meant. Like, there's power behind that. Are you going to be releasing any more singles or maybe even an EP or anything like that?
That's the plan. Like, as I said, going into 2020, I thought, okay, I got this tune and I really dig it. And it'd be nice to do a couple more and have a little package ready. But just the way things have rolled out, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this one. So I figured, hey, get this one out. 100%. I want to record more. I've got lots of my own stuff, ready to get into a studio. So definitely that's 100% the plan. I don't have like a total timeline for it, but it's going to happen for sure.
Curious, you talking about recording, home recording, or are you going to studio? And what's it like, man, trying to record during COVID?
There's another reason we haven't really done it. Cause I personally, Man, I'm a writer. I draw pictures. I sing songs. I don't have the capability to do great home recordings. I can get an idea across with the gear I have here, but we'll definitely be going to a studio. OBS will for sure, and as well as me. I mean, I also like working with a producer because as much as you've written your own thing and that to get it past that finish line and have like a really professional product, it's nice to have somebody say, "Hey, what if we try this?" or just to give you a little bit of that guidance is I've always found super helpful. So
I agree. I agree. It's funny when you get older, you start to realize, yes, it's okay to, just let somebody else in just a bit here and there,
yeah,
man. I believe me. I
yeah.
know the feeling. Any chance of any, because things have opened up, any chance for performances or even just still doing virtual performances?
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm planning to do at least a couple of shows on my own in 2021. I'm actually
Cool.
in the process of lining a few things up, and of course, I want to be as safe as possible and people to stay safe and make sure everything's fully vaxxed and wherever I am going to play, and to keep it. The idea behind my solo stuff was to keep it a bit smaller too, so it kind of works well to have a nice seated spot where you can have a whiskey and a pint and just listen to some tunes. So yeah, I'll definitely be announcing some stuff as soon as I have it, and I'm really hoping to get a few in before the end of the year for sure.
And last question, because we're coming up to the holiday season, Christmas, is there
Oh,
ever a
they're going to
chance
say
that
Halloween. Are they going to say holiday season Halloween?
no, 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 no. And look, the Christmas stuff is already out during
I know.
Halloween, as you
I
know.
know.
I've
Yeah.
actually already seen my first Christmas commercial. That's how
Are you
early it
serious?
is.
Oh
I'm
man.
serious. It's nuts. So I'm just curious, would the band ever consider, because I know other bands have slowly been doing this over the years, rock Christmas songs?
Well, we wrote our own Christmas song, maybe 2013, 14.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, you can check it out. It's called Dark December. So we have that, but I don't know. We've thought about, we love doing fun things like that. So it might be cool to even do, it doesn't have to be the craziest, greatest recording of all time, but put out a few Christmas tunes. I mean, hey, it's the season of celebration and joy. And if that would make our fans happy, well, why not? We're up for it.
Man, do we need to celebrate too? It's
Right?
funny. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people can argue with me about this. I don't think 2021 was the most horrible considering what we've gone through. So I feel like we're going into the right direction.
Yeah.
So adding, you guys to that kind of music, I think it'd be a nice touch in ending the year for 2021. So
Yeah, absolutely.
but look, man, congrats with the new single. Looking forward to the new music. Looking forward to the band's music. Just happy that we can get a chance to talk, man, because this is the new world and this is what's part of the new world. Doing
Yep.
interviews like this, Zoom, so which is I'm all cool with it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. And yeah, well, hopefully I'll get to talk to you again and again in person at some point for sure.